Hi everyone, I'm Emily from Bluesofts. This is the third video in my series of creating a dynamic report in Excel using ATools. If you are new to our channel, ATools is a unique solution for creating dynamic reports flexibly and quickly on large datasets. You can download ATools here and find lots of helpful documents and tutorials on our official website, atoolspro.com. In the first part of today's video, I want to talk to you about how to build a properly structured data table. There are some database principles that you must not violate. As you can see here, sometimes when the information duplicates, we tend to leave a blank and then merge multiple cells into one. However, this will lead to missing or misaligned data across rows. Therefore, you must enter enough data into the source table before using it to create reports, even if you are creating with pivot table or ATools. Another mistake is that we use field values as column headers, which means one type of information is spread across multiple columns. Like in this example, each project code A, B, C, D, E is in each column. Although it may look easy to understand, this will make it impossible for us to summarize information later in the future. That's why you must place each type of information in its own column. Column names must be unique, and then define the data type of each column. You must not leave any blank cell. If the format of the column is text, insert a single quotation mark. If it is number, insert a 0. Remember, when we have a well-structured data source, we can easily generate hundreds or even thousands of reports. Moving on to the next part of the video, I have noticed that what we often struggle with when using Excel is the data source. So, how should we organize our data source to ensure it is logical and interconnected? The answer is, when we have multiple data sources, they should have at least one common information. The type of information that links different data tables together is called a relational key. For example, between customer list and journal book, customer code is the relational key. When working with Excel function like VLOOKUP, you have to manually look up each code in different tables, but with SQL language, you can connect the data tables with relational keys, and SQL will automatically find the matching data for you. In the Excel file I have here, there are the following data tables: data, journal book, item list, supplier list, and customer list. The catalogs, item list, supplier list, customer list include the unique codes and detailed information of different objects that we are working with, and the others record our transaction. Each type has its own function, so be careful not to mix them up. Look at this customer list. You can see I divided the address into two columns, address and province or city. This is because any information that you want to separate or analyze later must be placed in different columns. The principle is, when designing a catalog, the more detailed it is, the better. In the datasheet, we must not use the name of our items, customer, or suppliers, but use codes. Another note is that, because we record both inbound and outbound goods using the same types of information, we need to add an extra column to classify the type of transaction, in or out. I will demonstrate their relationship with an example. Before practicing, make sure your data tables are all named. In this example, I want to filter my data with this customer code only. I will place my cursor here in cell A4. Go to Menu ATools, click SQL Builder, or you can type in bs_SQL and click SQL Builder in the pop-up window. On the right side of this window, you will see all your data tables that you have named before, those without the dollar signs. The ones with dollar signs are sheet names. For example, I want to create a report with both item codes and item names, but our normal source table data doesn't include item names. That's why we have to connect our two source tables, data and item list. To do this, I will take data and item list, drop them in this blank area right here. As you can see, the item code is the relational key of these two tables. Of course, you can name the columns differently, but because they contain the same information, I recommend you to use the same name to avoid misunderstanding. Okay, I will hold item code of data and drag it to item code of item list to connect them. This tool will automatically generate the formula in the cell below. Now, you can tick every column you want to include in your report from both source tables. Make sure to tick customer code to filter the data. You can also change the order of the columns by hold and drag this first column. Okay, let's move to filtering. Do you see the criteria column here? Click on this three dots button. You will be able to select the function range or cell. In this case, I will choose range, then cell C2. Click Next, choose the button Function BS SQL, and finally click Finish. There it is. You will have your report without having to type any formula. And of course, if you change your condition cell, the result table will update automatically. If I can do it, you can do it too with add-in A tools. See you in the next video. Bye!